Mahalo Hawaii from the Kamaka Ohana. For a century of making your ukulele. For a century of your inspiration and friendship.
Our Ohana authorized dealers help put the best ukuleles into your hands and into the hands of those you love. Ohana means family. Welcome to ours.
Aloha, Kalei Gamiao here from Anue, USA. Thank you so much for supporting Craigandsarah's Backyard Concert Series. We're so excited to be a part of this. We have discount codes available, so make sure you tune in and don't forget to sign up for their Artist Works program. Take care and aloha.
Ukulele Magazine is 10 years old. To celebrate, we're offering you 10% off our all-access subscription, which includes a download of every issue we've ever published. Visit store.ukelelemag.com and enter discount code BIRTHDAY to take 10% off your order.
The newly refurbished Ala Moana Hotel by Mantra, conveniently located and always an island favorite.
This is our hotel.
Now make it yours. Ala Moana Hotel, where Kama'aina always gets the best rate. Use promo code LOCALSONLY.
Holidays are right up on us here, and if you have anybody you love, maybe try thinking about hooking them up with an ukulele. It's one of those gifts that, like, every time they pick it up, if they love it, it's like,
You're gifting them a permanent smile.
Aloha, and welcome to Craigandsarah's Backyard Concert Series Season 2 finale. Thank you so much to our amazing sponsors, Ala Moana Hotel, Analysis Plus Cables, Anue USA, as well as GHS Strings, Hawaiian Host, Kamaka Ukulele, Kanilea Ukulele, as well as Ohana Ukulele, Pro Camera Hawaii, the Ukulele site, and Ukulele Magazine. Thank you to our wonderful associate producers, patrons, and supporters. It is thanks to your generosity that we are able to keep this series free to the public. We also want to say a huge special thank you for allowing us to make a very large pivot with this series. As many of you may remember, concert number 9 was supposed to feature Craig Chi and myself. However, on August 8th, the horrific fires happened on Maui, and we knew we needed to pivot and do something. We received a call from Andrew Katakis that night, and then the very next day, we got a call from our good friend Jake Shimabukuro. Both of them were the catalyst that brought forward Music and Meals for Maui. This 6.5-hour live stream concert featured over 75 ukulele players and groups from around the world. We were so amazed at our ukulele community and how we all came together. With the concert and the online auctions hosted by Ukulele site, we were able to bring in over $110,000 for our good friends at Maui Food Bank. Thank you all so, so much for your incredible generosity. It's moments like these that make Craig and I feel truly, truly blessed to be a part of this amazing ukulele community. Now, I also want to make sure that I thank the past artists that have joined us for our concert series. And if you missed anyone in season 2, or you want to make sure that you want to go back and rewatch and relive some of your favorite moments, don't forget to go to our website and pick up your free digital program. We not only have information about Jake and the songs that he's performing today, but we also go into all of the different artists, and we have hot links as well, so you can just click and go back and enjoy those great performances. Now, I feel that our next performer really needs no introduction. I've already said his name a few times. However, he is immensely talented. He's truly changed the scope of what the ukulele can do. He is a multiple Nahoku Hanohano Award winner. He has toured with the likes of Jimmy Buffett, Bela Fleck, and he's even performed for the late Queen of England. He has so many accolades. I could go on forever, but I feel like one of the most amazing things about him is his generosity and kindness knows no bounds. Please welcome and enjoy Jake Shimabukuro.
Thank you so much. I am just so thrilled and honored to be here. Big shout out to Craigandsarah. Thank you for having me on your show. And to close out the season, wow, what an honor. This is amazing. I enjoy watching all of the programs that Craigandsarah, put out throughout the year. They work so hard editing all the footage and, just kind of providing this amazing content for everyone to see. That opening piece was a medley, probably a long medley of some of my original pieces over the years. And the one that I started out with was a song called Anon, which is a Japanese word for peace and tranquility. And it kind of segued into a few pieces that I had written. One was a song called Go For Broke, inspired by the Nisei veterans. Also a song entitled Piano Forte. That was inspired by watching piano players, as a kid, and seeing how their left and right hand work together, almost like a dance across the keyboards. And the third was a song entitled Touch, which was inspired by a mother's touch, to a newborn baby. And it was featured in a Japanese film many years ago called Hula Girl. So very excited to be here, also because I have a dear friend with me. He's an amazing musician, also from Hawaii, but was raised in Kyoto during his childhood years, and then came back to Hawaii, finished up his high school years over at Kaimuki High School, where I went to school. So we're Bulldogs, different years. I mean, definitely different times, but truthfully, he's much, much younger than me, though I don't like to admit that all the time. But please welcome to the stage or to the video screen, Jackson Waldhoff. Right, Jackson. All right, Jackson, you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. We're going to start with an original piece called Trapped. Thank you very much. Featuring Jackson on the bass. This next one actually really features him on the bass. It's going to be a medley of two songs. The first song is a piece that was inspired by the numeric pager code for I Love You, which was 143, right? So this was prior to cell phones and all that. I mean, text messaging. Everyone had pagers back in the day. And if you were dating someone, you would put your phone number, you would page them and you would put your phone number and then followed by the numbers 143, which was the romantic gesture back in the day. And the second half of this piece will be a song called 6-8 that I don't know really what inspired this piece, but I remember just hearing this bass line in my head, when I was writing this song, and Jackson kills it on this one. So we hope you enjoy this. Here's 143 followed by 6-8.
Aloha, Jake. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. I'm nervous.
Oh, yes. I ask very hard-hitting questions. Don't worry. So I actually wanted to kind of bring up something that I didn't realize, and I don't know if other folks out there know this. You actually did, ukulele has been your focus for a very, very long time. You were, 4 when you started, right? Yeah. So then, but you also did dabble in other instruments. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that has affected your playing?
Oh, yeah. So when I was from middle school till high school, the end of high school, like I played in the band, in concert band and marching band. And for concert band, I played timpanis and percussion. And then for marching band, I played snare.
Oh, wow.
And those, just the wrist techniques that you use and all of that really helped me with my strumming. And I think I also took a lot of piano lessons and guitar lessons growing up, but my passion was always ukulele. But a lot of the things that I learned in lessons, with the other instruments really helped me with ukulele.
Now, when things really did pick up for you, in the early 2000s, when things all of a sudden, I remember that was when I first got to see you. I think it was 2006. While my guitar gently weeps, that video went viral.
Yeah.
Now, when you started touring, how did that feel for you when it was first all kind of coming about? Like, was it overwhelming, or was this something that you were like, yeah, I'm ready to go?
Definitely not ready to go. But yeah, it was very surreal.
Yeah.
And I remember just having, like, during that time, YouTube was just starting out. So I wasn't familiar with YouTube at the time. I mean, a lot of us weren't. But there were some friends of mine who were going to school, on the mainland, and they would call me and they would say, hey, there's a video of you circulating the campus. You know, I was like, what are you talking about? So they sent me this email, they forwarded me this link, and they said, so you're going to see this thing, just click on it and you'll see the video. So they sent it to me, and I saw the email, and I clicked on the thing, and then that video popped up, and it was actually from a TV show that I had recorded, for this it was a program called Ukulele Disco in New York City, and they had filmed me and interviewed me for this, and someone took that clip and put it on YouTube. So so I'm very grateful for that, because I mean, till this day I don't know who initially put the video on YouTube, but that was really really the catalyst. I think that's for this, for a touring career, right?
And with the touring, when you first were going out and going places, how have things shifted for you from when you first started to now?
Yeah, I mean, it's always it's just always so inspiring, having the opportunities to travel to different places and to play for different people, meet other musicians. The collaborative opportunities that come up. It's just I'm just so thankful, for all of it. So, and then just having, just being able to meet great people, other artists, not just musicians, but in different fields, and just get inspired from them. Yeah, it's been awesome.
Now, when you were first starting out and first traveling, what were, I guess, some of your favorite stops, like your first time stops, right? That you can think of? Think back.
So so my career started in Hawaii, right? With my very first band out of high school was a band called Pure Heart.
Yes.
And that's what kind of I think that's kind of where my foundation, started with John and Lopaka. And, but we never traveled. We only played in Hawaii. And so like a tour was like when we'd go to the neighbor islands, to Hawaii Island or Maui or Kauai or wherever. So it wasn't until I went solo, right? My solo career, which started in 2001. And I basically started in Japan, right? And I was, so that's the only place I was touring. I signed with Sony Music in Japan. and that was my first, major record label contract. And so I spent a lot of time out there just playing and doing concerts, doing TV shows, radio shows. I mean, it was awesome. And so I think for me that will always be, the such a special memory, because it was a time in my life where it was so new and I was learning so much. And of course there were so many challenges, but I loved it. I think back on those times and I just realized how lucky I was, to have that experience. And then touring out there really helped to prepare me for what happened later on after that video went viral and I had opportunities to tour in other places.
Now, do you remember after that video went viral, sort of where your first new place was that you got to go?
Oh, so after that video went viral, the first tour that I went on was with Bela Fleck and the Flecktones.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they took me under their wing and took me out on the road with them, and it was just awesome. I'm Bela Fleck, Victor Wooten, Future Man, Jeff Coffin.
Edgar Meyer there too.
Edgar Meyer wasn't. He wasn't with the Flecktones, but I did get to meet him when we performed at the Telluride Bluegrass Festival. Wow. And I was a huge Edgar Meyer fan as well, so that was something special.
That is truly amazing. I love it. I love getting to hear about some of these special memories. So thanks for sharing that with us.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Oh, so let me see. You ready for another song? Actually, just a quick story of how I met Jackson. About 5 or 6 years ago, I was trying to learn how to use a software program called Pro Tools, which is a computer program that allows you to record music. And it's kind of the industry standard, very difficult to use. Well, maybe not for everyone, but for me, it was pretty impossible. So I was kind of looking for someone to tutor me and just kind of coach me, through it. So a bunch of my friends recommended Jackson Waldhoff, who was just wrapping up his audio engineering program, the Melee program, right? And he was managing the studio for the Melee program. So he said, "Oh, you got to contact Jackson. He's such a nice, sweet guy." And so I called him up, and then he started coming over to my house like once or twice a week and working with me. And I have to say he is the most patient person, because I was the worst student probably ever. And and that's kind of how we met. And back then I didn't even know that he, played bass, and just such a talented musician. He's also a fantastic photographer, audio engineer, just kind of does it all. So it's an honor to share the stage with this guy. So we're going to play another song here. This is one that I wrote with one of my favorite musicians, the great Sonny Landreth. And we were sitting in the studio one day and wrote this for an album called Jake and Friends, and it was my first collaborative record. But it's we call this one Sunny Days Ahead, and it's really a song about just staying positive and focusing on the light at the end of the tunnel. So here we go, Sunny Days Ahead. Okay, we're gonna do. This is a kind of a fun one. I remember writing this many years ago, when I was on tour with Bela Fleck and the Flecktones, and it was such a thrill. You know, they were one of my all-time favorite bands, and we did a bunch of bluegrass festivals together. And one that really stuck out to me was a Telluride Bluegrass Fest, because that was the first time I had played in that kind of altitude. And I wasn't aware of the whole altitude sickness thing. So first song I went out and I was just like, yeah. And halfway through that first song, I thought I was going to pass out. So, but this is a piece called Orange World. And it goes something like this. Really features Jackson on the bass. Here we go.
So this year and future things. One thing that caught my eye was I noticed that you are partnering with Acoustic Coffee. You have your very own coffee blend, sir. Can you tell us a little? How did that come about?
Yeah, well, I love coffee.
Yes.
It's been, but I didn't grow up drinking it. I mean, this has been a very recent thing, like in the last 5 or 6 years. So, but yeah, working with Acoustic Coffee, they're an amazing company because they're all about just giving back to the community, right? So this special blend that we have is 80% Honduras coffee and 20% Kona coffee. So it's a very special blend, and I've tried it. I absolutely love it.
Yes.
I drink it all the time, and it was so much fun, like just working with them and trying to find the perfect blend. But this was I think what I love most about this is that we're working with three amazing organizations, and so a portion of the proceeds go to these charities, and one of them is Guitars in the Classroom. And they also provide ukuleles as well. So
Yes.
Ukulele Kids Club.
Yeah.
It's another amazing organization.
Yeah.
And then the Coral Reef Alliance. Because that's something else that I'm very passionate about. I love the ocean, so just kind of restoring, helping to figure out how we can prevent coral bleaching and help to restore our coral reefs, is so important.
Yeah,
So,
well, especially here, right, at
Yep,
home. It's
mhm.
definitely a close to home organization, that's for sure.
Thank you. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing that they do that and that you're able to partner with them. So thank you
Yeah,
so
they're a
much.
very generous organization, so very proud to be working with them. And it's good, amazing coffee too.
So there's that's happening in the now. I know you've been traveling a ton, and since it is currently September, yes. I also, a little bird told me that you might have a special something happening this month. Actually, what's going to be happening this
we're
month?
going to be releasing a new album, and I'm so excited about this one. It's a full collaborative effort, working with so many heroes of mine that I grew up listening to, like Henry Capono, Brother Nolan.
Yeah.
We got Riot to Helm on there. I mean, the list goes on and on. Fiji. I got to do another song with my old band Pure Heart.
Yeah.
Pomaikai Lyman. Who else is on there? Herbota Jr., Brian Tolentino, Chris Kamaka, Jeff Peterson. A lot of them have
Yeah.
been, here on this show. So, just very, very grateful. And which is the title of the album. There's a song on the album written by Justin Kavika Young, who's also on this record. It's called Grateful, and it was like the perfect fit, because for me, I know I wouldn't be, where I am today or the musician I am today if it weren't for so many of these artists that are on the record.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of being able to record with them and do a record with them. Oh, I tell you, it was just such a thrill. So I'm excited. It comes out this month, and we've just been in the studio a lot recently. So wrapping up this record,
Yeah.
and we're actually about to release another one in a few months.
Ooh, you've
but
been busy.
we did another record with Mick Fleetwood.
I wasn't
on
sure if you
Maui.
were gonna get to-
Jackson Waldhoff is playing bass on this record. We have Michael
Yeah.
Grande on keys, Mick Fleetwood on drums. We recorded the whole thing on Maui in
Yeah.
Kula, and I'm very excited about that one as well. So so these two projects that are very dear to my heart because because they're recorded here in
Yes.
Hawaii, and just with people that have inspired me and people that I just love, and and also the collaborative record too. It wasn't just with musicians, but also got to work with Manaola, who designed this incredible overcoat, for the album cover.
Yeah.
And working with another dear friend of mine, Christy Fujiyama Cosmedes. She's a painter based in Hilo, abstract painter. She is just phenomenal, but she did all the artwork for the album as well. So all these collaborative
Yeah.
these collaborations are so special. It just feels so, I don't know, it's like it's just such a meaningful project, for me. So I'm excited. Can't wait for it to come out. Michael Grande helped me produce the whole album, and I'm just thrilled. Can't wait.
That sounds like an absolutely beautiful project. So I know Craig and I cannot wait to have our chance to hear it. I'm sure everybody out there can't wait to hear it too. If it's as soon as it does come out, where is the best place for folks to be able to find it? You'll have it on your website, I'm
yeah,
sure.
we'll have it on the website. We'll it'll be, of course, available for digital downloads and things like
Perfect.
that. But
Okay.
yeah, it's been there's 21 tracks on this record.
Oh, wow.
So 21 different artists. It was, Kimea Minor is on there. I'm trying to just, there's just Ron Artis, Connor Johnson, Del Beasley. Yeah, it's a really, all of these people, have made such an impact on my life. And so just being able to record with them, this is,
It
really
sounds like
a
dream
first.
come true, yeah?
Yeah, and it was all done live in the studio, so they're all they're pretty much, most of them are all just duets, just capturing a whole take. And so we kind of decided to do it that way because a couple years ago we did another duets record with it was called Jake and Friends, and and that's how everything was recorded, just live in the studio. We just had this amazing vibe, so that's what we wanted to capture with this one, like the old Connie Kapila style, Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for it to come out.
Thank you.
And as I said, I'm sure everybody out there is definitely waiting with bated breath. So get on Jake's mailing list so you'll know when it's coming out. And again, thank you so much for sitting down with us. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. No, it's always a treat, and it's fun to be able to make music, and and just I'm so glad. Of course we've had a long history together. I've known Craig since when you were in 7th grade or something like that.
Yeah.
We go way back, and Sarah, just getting to know the both of you, from way back then, and just to see all the positive things that you've created and have done for the ukulele community, and even with Ukulele Festivals Hawaii, during the pandemic, how you helped and supported that. It's been amazing, and so it's an honor to work with you both and to know you both, and just looking forward to doing more together. And thank you so much for your support. I want to thank you so much. Also, big shout out to Analysis Plus, who I think I know they're a sponsor of this series, and both of us been using Analysis Plus cables. Pretty much, I don't know, I started using them, decades ago, and they're truly just the best. I, again, just can't thank Craig and Sarah enough for all their support, and not just, for having us today, but also all that they do for the community, everything that they do to support ukulele players, from all over. They're just such great ambassadors, of this instrument. Teaching and providing just quality instruction, to people all over the world. So thank you guys. I want to thank Jackson Waldhoff for coming down and playing with me. We've been touring together now for several years. We started, before the pandemic, and I tell you, man, this guy, not only is he just a crazy talented musician, but he is one of the most humble, nicest, kindest human beings I know. So thanks, Jackson. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So we're gonna do one more song here, and this is another original piece that was inspired by one of my favorite Japanese words, and the word is Ichigo Ichie, which means, the direct translation is kind of like once in a lifetime, but it has to do more with people coming together and recognizing, that this present moment is so special because it'll never happen in the exact same way again, so it's really recognizing that and being in the moment and just being grateful. So we like to leave you with this final tune. Here's Ichigo Ichie. Once again, Jackson Waldhoff. I'm Jake Shimabukuro. Thank you for all your support, and we're just honored to be closing out this season, with Craig and Sarah, and looking forward to a lot more content that they'll be providing, throughout the year. So thank you so much. Take care. Aloha, and can't wait to see you again. Take care. Oh, thank you so much. Beautiful playing, Jackson. Amazing. One more song? Sure. Craig and Sarah, you guys want to come up and join us? Yeah. All right. Let's get Craig and Sarah up here. Thank you once again, everyone. Thank you.
the strains of that sweet halekoki, stealing from afar off guitar piano, when Lily Boy makes you sway in the moonlight. I know the reason why Velvet haunts you so. When I hear the strains of that sweet halekoki, stealing from afar off guitar piano, when Lily Boy makes you sway in the moonlight. I know the reason why Velvet haunts you so. I hear the swish of rain as it sweeps down the valley. I hear the song of wind as it sighs through the trees. I hear the crash of waves on the rocks and the beaches. I hear the hissing surf and the boom of the sea. Take it away, Jake. The lovely blue of sky and the sapphire of ocean, the flashing white of clouds and the waves forming crest, many shades of green from the plains to the mountains, with all the brightest hues of the rainbows we are blessed. I love to dance and sing of the charms of Hawaii, and from a joyful heart sing aloha to you, and every note I'll tell of the spell of my islands, for then I know that you'll be in love with them too. For then I know that you'll be in love with them too. Oh, that was so much fun. This was such an incredible treat, and thank you both. Woo! Thank you both so much. Jackson Waldhoff, Jake Shimabukuro, thank you both. It's just an honor to have you guys here. Thank you so much to all of you guys who have supported not only season 2, but also season 1. If you haven't checked out all of the amazing artists that we have had, definitely go into the archives, check out season 1, and also the beginning of season 2, of course, starts with Nue. And I want to say another humongous mahalo. I always thank him, but I want to make sure I do it again. Thank you so much, Craig Chi, the man who is able to do all of the cameras, even while sitting right here, and all of the sound and everything. So that's right. You don't see his toes doing all of the work, but thank you so much, and thank you all out there. This has been a real pleasure, and we look forward to seeing you for season 3. Woo! Aloha, everybody. We hope you enjoyed Jake's concert. We are here to answer some questions that folks have had for us about the Backyard Concert Series. And the Jake concert, just as a reminder, it was filmed actually in July of 2023. Okay, the very first one. Oh, is there going to be a season 3?
Most likely, yes.
Yes.
We don't know when or how just yet. Probably have the next season, released on a weekly basis.
It's a little bit more like a TV season, right? Like you're like, okay, can't wait till next week for the Craigandsarah concert that did not happen. Will there be a Craigandsarah concert?
Yeah.
Craig is saying yes.
Yeah.
So yes.
It'll happen. But thank you guys again for allowing us to kind of pivot to do the music and Meals for Maui fundraiser concert. That was so much more important to kind of get down.
What new ideas are germinating for season 3 based on our experience from season 2 and that Music and Meals for Maui benefit concert? For the nonprofit, I know not everybody downloaded, they probably haven't all downloaded your digital program. Make sure to download the digital programs. They're free, you guys. And you will have access to every single one. All you have to do is just enter your email address and all of them are already up. But we talked a little bit about it in the program, but we started a nonprofit called 4 Strings at a Time. And our mission, of course, is to enrich, educate, and engage all ages around the world through music and the ukulele. So you're going to be seeing some more fun educational programming from us. Not only education for ukulele itself, but also there's going to be, as Craig mentioned earlier, the videos that we do that go into the stories and even the translations of some of the amazing songs that come from these islands. Because for us, it's important to be able to showcase the history of this instrument and where it comes from, because you'll have a better appreciation for it moving forward as a musician.
There are some big ideas for season 3 that I can't unveil just yet.
I know who this one is from. Steph. Does Craig have all the audio and video equipment he needs?
So
Need is a strong
or
word.
wants, because well, here's the hard part about our situation is that we tried to keep the back end, the crew as minimal as possible, right? That's the only way to make things right now as affordable as possible, by not having to outsource every time we want to do a concert with someone. So between Sarah and I, we're controlling 3 different cameras, we're doing all of the audio recording. So not only do we have to get the right gear for the job, because again, certain mics work better outdoors.
Lighting.
Yeah, lighting was a huge deal for us.
That
was the biggest thing we learned in the past 2 seasons was you can never have enough light, especially working outdoors. Indoors is not too bad. You have much more control, but when you're fighting the sun in the background, we constantly went through different lights, and I kind of wish we bought like the strongest light we could afford at the beginning, so that we didn't have to go through all these growing pains. But it was always dealing with light to try to compensate for the sun when it was bright and sunny.
You might have noticed actually in that last song with Jake, when you can see all 4 of us and you can look behind Craig and you see that there's actually a curtain there. We actually have to block the light on that side of the house. So I have to put up a series of curtains on that side because the sun is so bright and our neighbor's house is so white that it reflects in and causes us to get weird shadows if you don't close that up. So again,
so there's all these little things that we learned throughout the shooting the last 2 seasons, but so again, part of it is the right equipment for capturing what we need, but also being as efficient as possible so that the 2 of us can do everything.
The answer is probably no. He doesn't have everything he needs, but we have the tools required to be able to get the job done currently. What camera settings are you using for your multi-camera view, and what cameras?
Cameras and settings. So I was on the fence for a few years, but we did stick with Canon.
Yes, we had many a conversation.
And actually, we went through different setups over the past few years, because again, we had to get things that again were more efficient, allowed us to do sort of the things we did. Like for example, 2 of our first cameras in season 1, Canon had a limit on their hybrid cameras where we couldn't record more than half an hour at a time.
how long does it take to film, and also how long does it take to edit?
So the filming process is actually pretty quick. I usually take about an hour, hour and a half to set up everything. We'll have the artists come, we'll do some sound checks, and then we'll just get started. And we treat it like a live show. You know, there might be some times where, you know, there's a big mistake and we just start the song over, but for the most part, we treat it live. And if there's small mistakes, we just roll with it.
Yeah. Or even big mistakes. John Yamasato completely forgot the lyrics to a song he wrote, and he said, keep it in.
That was really fun.
But I mean, that was like, but that again, it's like,
Yeah.
it was for us, it was like, keep it like it's live.
Yeah, it's about hour to hour and a half for the actual recording process. That's the concert plus the interviews.
Right.
And then another hour breakdown maybe. So about 4 to 5 hours maybe. And the editing, that's what usually takes the longest. So usually I start with the audio, because the audio is the most important. We want to make sure our friends sound good. I could probably knock out a concert, if that's all I did all day, I could maybe knock the whole thing out in maybe 4 days.
But because that's not all you're doing, you're also being a dad.
Yeah,
and
so we usually I give myself usually about 2 weeks for a concert to do audio and video editing and all the graphics and all of that kind of stuff. So
yeah. Another question somebody had was, how has weather affected filming? Because yes, our backyard is covered, but if it's storming, we can't film. Because
you'll see the background on Jake's concert, right? How you see it dripping. We just had a ton of rain that morning, so you see the wall is covered in water.
There's water where the cover from where the roof ends.
So if luckily it was just rain. If we had extra wind as well, we would have probably had to postpone the recording.
Yeah, I think we've only had to postpone 2 recordings in season 1 and season 2. Season 1, we had to postpone Honaka's like 3 times. It like every day we chose, it stormed. Thank goodness she lived here, or lives here. And then the second one was actually U3. We had to postpone it, which broke our hearts because Lenny doesn't live here, and he was only here for a finite amount of time. Luckily, I think we were able to film it the day before they left, or before he left, and that was a little nerve-wracking because, the morning we woke up, it was like storming. The entire backyard was wet because of the wind. And we do live in Manoa, and Manoa is known for being wet and lush. What about a short discussion of each artist's equipment and setup?
No, that's a fantastic idea, and that is something that season 3 will take more time on, doing more behind the scenes thing and dialing that in, because it wouldn't fit the concert format.
Yeah.
But again, I want to do more behind the scenes shots where we talk about their setups, because everyone has a different setup. Everyone prioritizes different things. Great
idea / question. Oh, okay, this is not a backyard thing, but somebody asked us, are there going to be ukulele cruises again? Oh my gosh, Craig and I have hosted, was it
6, I think? Or 7?
6 or 7, I don't remember. But we've hosted many ukulele cruises, and of course COVID hit, and so we have been, and we had a son, so we have not been wanting to get on a ship because of both of those things. But I think...
Well, short answer is 2025.
Maybe.
We may be going from Seattle to Alaska.
All right, and the very last question, which is, I know, a bit of a joke because I know who it's from, Gary, is... Why is linear tuning preferred by most? And that's not true.
I don't know. You might have to ask Jake.
Jake, who plays high G. No, so Craig and I actually went through and we're like, wait, hold on a minute. And it looks like we actually do a pretty even spread of high G versus low G players for ukulele, which is, I think, pretty awesome that we have a nice even spread.
It's great to hear the differences. It's great to see how they're utilized in different ways. So I think it's fantastic that we have such a good representation of both.
Yeah.
Gary. But again, we cannot thank you guys enough for the support on this series. The big, especially our sponsors and associate producers and patrons and supporters. This allowed us to continue with this passion project and put in all these hours of work. But it also allowed us to keep it free. And that's the biggest thing, is that we want to have these things accessible. We want to be able to share this amazing music with others. So thank you so very, very much.
Yes, and even as I mentioned earlier, the digital programs are also free. I spend many hours creating those, especially because there's always a lesson, at least one lesson in them. Because again, education is very important to Craig and I, and so we want to make sure that there is an educational element. So thank you all so much. If you want to keep up with our backyard concert news and everything, please join our mailing list. We'll let you know as soon as we have sorted out what season 3 is going to look like and how you can support. We will definitely have that email blasted out to everybody. We are just so grateful to everyone in our amazing ukulele community. Just thank you all so much again for supporting us, and we look forward to seeing you guys all for season 3.
Aloha.
Aloha.